All right. So today we're going to focus on speaking fluency. And I'm going to give you first a quick definition, and we're going to look at speech flow, which is an essential part of speaking fluency. We're going to do some practice, which is going to be interesting because I can't hear you, but that's okay. I will try to be very, to the point, clear, and simple, so you can practice on your own wherever you are now. Um, I'm also going to talk about understanding native speakers, why that is important, and how it's connected to speaking. And at the end, I'm going to answer your questions if you have questions and if you share them with me. And that's it. Conclusion and your PDF bonus if you wait till the end. All right, fluency. What is fluency? Now, when I ask learners, this is what they say usually. Well, I want to be fluent in English because I just want to be thinking in English without translating from Spanish or whatever your first language is. That's one. The other one is, I want to feel confident, just like in my native language, where I want to understand movies and native speakers effortlessly, just enjoy the movies, and or I just want to find the right words. I don't want to be using other words than the ones that I really want to say. I want to express with myself with precision. And of course, I want to have good pronunciation. So this is what learners usually think fluency is, and it is true. This is fluency in in large part, but not only. When we talk about business, there are other things to consider as well. So fluency in English is more than just speaking in a fluent way. It also includes other communication skills. It also includes written fluency, of course. It includes presentation skills. It includes good grammar. So there's a lot of things that go into English fluency. But today we're going to focus on one, and I'm going to mention two others. But the main focus is going to be on speech flow because this is what most people struggle with. This is what most people ask for, and we're going to look at this today. Okay. Right. So let's dive in. What is natural speech flow? Natural speech flow means when you're connecting words in a natural way. That is, you connect certain words, you pause at the right places, and with this, you maintain a rhythm in speech, sounds like natural. All right? That's it. That's basically the definition. Now, one very important thing for speech flow to happen is linking words. What does this mean? In writing, on paper or in print, words appear in, with spaces. That means words there are gaps between words, right? That's the way we write. As you can see here, one word, another word, another word. This is what we see, but we don't speak like that. In speaking, we link words together. Okay, it's not only English speakers who link words together. Obviously, every language does it, as far as I know, the ones that I speak. But for a learner, it is hard. It is hard to distinguish the words. What you see on paper or printed in English sounds very different, many times sounds very different from, what you see to what you hear. So, I'm going to explain the reason for that. So words sound connected. When we link words, it's good for our fluency, the flow of our speech. We're going to speak more in a more fluent way. But at the same time, that's what native speakers do, that's a challenge for learners to distinguish the words. Because many times everything sounds like one long word, okay? So how to master this, how to practice this, and how to use this to your advantage, this is what we're going to continue with. When we link words together, we create blocks. So 2, 3 words together create a block. Another 2, 3, maybe 4 words, together create another block. I call these containers. They're like little containers, that contain 2, 3 words, and these are like bigger building blocks. It's like building a house. When you build a house with small little bricks, okay, or you use bigger concrete blocks, which one will be, faster? Which one will require fewer repeated movements? Well, the bigger blocks. You're going to use bigger blocks, and you finish the wall faster. Same thing happens, or a similar thing happens in speaking. So this helps to speak in a more connected way. Bigger blocks together create better flow. Instead of saying individual words, we say blocks together. I'm going to show you this in a visual form in a moment, okay? So, um, when we link words, we create blocks. Let me show you an example. Here we see 3 words. This is from a conversation. I'm going to show you the conversation. What did you okay, this is the beginning of a question, like, "What did you do yesterday?" or "What did you do at the weekend?" Whatever. What did you? We see 3 words, but when we say these words, we connect them, and we just say, "What did you? What did you?" Now, when you're a more advanced speaker, this is quite easy, but for a beginner, this is hard. It's a simple thing, but for a beginner, it's even hard to distinguish what did you from what did you? What did you? All right? But that's how native speakers speak, and it's important for you to learn these patterns and learn how they speak so you can recognize, um, these patterns and speak like that. So, let's just, continue with the conversation. Here's the full conversation. It's a mini conversation. There's a question which goes like, "What did you do today?" Right? There's an answer, "Well, not much. I went through some reports and then had a team meeting with the technicians." Anything interesting in the reports? That's it. Now, as you can see, we have words. How many words? You can count, doesn't matter. But the words are written in a separate form, of course, because this is the way we write, but that's not the way we speak. So, remember I told you about blocks? Let's see how many blocks can we create in this conversation. I prepared it. Here we have 10 blocks. From this conversation, we can create 10 blocks. Let me read these blocks out to you, okay? So as you can see, each block has words. Uh, some of them have 3, this one has 4, well, okay, but mostly 3, 2, 3 words. What did you? This is one block. I will explain why, all right? But for now, let's just see the blocks. What did you is one, do today is another one, not much is another one, I went through another one, etc. See, there are 10 blocks. This is the original conversation, and these are the blocks. Now, if I read this conversation word by word, it's going to take a long time and it's not going to sound natural, of course. So in natural speech, we connect certain words, but it's not the same if you connect certain words or other words, all right? So there are tendencies how native speakers connect words. In a natural context, these would be likely blocks that would be created from this conversation. Okay, I hope you're following. Let's move on. What happens here, right? Let me show you what happens. In each block, the words come together like magnets, okay? So instead of saying, "What did you?" in this block, we're gonna say, "What did you? What did you?" In do they, we are going to say, "Do today. Do today." In not much, I'm gonna say, "Not much." Let me show you the the word blocks created? Are the word blocks created, you see? Let me read them out. What did you do today? Not much. I went through some report and then had a team meeting with the technicians. Anything interesting in the reports? So these are the building blocks. Remember what I told you about the wall? Building a wall with single bricks, that would be like single words versus blocks, 10 blocks, 10 bigger blocks. You can build the wall faster and with fewer repeated movements. It's more fluent. So we're going to practice now. So it's practice time. Wherever you are, I would like you to, uh, if you can, if you are in a place that you can, repeat these after me, okay? We're going to focus on this question first. The two colors, the blue and the pink, so or purple. So we're going to basically look at how to form the blocks with these words and how to say them. And then we're going to look at the rest of the conversation as well. Here we go. What did you do today? Okay, this is the first uh, part, the first question. So I'm going to, yeah, here you can see the words in two blocks connected. First, I would like you to read these after me, each word separately. Listen. What did you? Your turn. Great. Do today. Your turn. Nice. Now let's go to the next page where we're going to join these words. Listen to me and repeat first and then the second. What did you? One more time. What did you? Great. Second. Do today. One more time. Do today. Great. Now, okay. Uh, let's move on. Now comes the fun part because when you have these blocks, they don't stay isolated. So we connect words, we put them into blocks, and then we take these blocks and we connect them as well. So this is what happens. What did you do today? What did you do today? This is a natural way of reading this question in English. So we go from what did you do today to what did you do today? What did you do today? Now listen to me and repeat twice after me, okay? What did you do today? More time. One more time. What did you do today? Great. Now you've learned how to say a question in a fluent way, the way that a native English speaker would say it in in general, okay? In an average situation. So for the next part, let's look at the second line, the answer. I went through some reports. These are the words. I went through some reports. Went through means I checked, okay? So let's just read these words alone, and then let's just connect them into blocks, and then let's connect the blocks. So repeat after me, please. I went through some reports. Some reports. Okay. Now, Let's connect them. Let's put them into these containers. The first one, repeat after me. I went through, I went through, okay, some reports, some reports. Great. Okay. Now what's next? We're going to connect these two blocks. So I went through some reports will come together, and this is what you will hear. I went through some reports. I went through some reports. Repeat. I went through some reports. I went through some reports. Great. Okay. All right. How's it going? I can't hear you, so I can't know, but I'm sure that you're doing very well. All right. Connecting words and then connecting the blocks. Let's continue. We have one more. Think here. 4 words. Okay. And then had a team meeting. Let's read these together in the blocks and then connect the blocks. And then had a, and then had a, okay. And now repeat with me. Team meeting, team meeting. Great. And now let's connect them. Listen to me and repeat after me. And then had a team meeting. And then had a team meeting. Fantastic. All right. So to sum up this part, in fluency, fluent speech, a lot of things come together, okay? Vocabulary, grammar, and all that. Now we are focusing on the sound production, producing sounds, and basically understanding that writing is different from speaking, not only because English is written in one way and many times is pronounced in a different way that you would expect, but also because words are connected, and that's just the natural way how people speak. And this connection creates bigger parts, blocks, and then these blocks work together to create the phrases and all that. And that's what we are actually practicing here now. Okay, let's continue. Uh, this is actually a summary now for this part. All right, so this is what I just explained. The blocks, we link the words, containers are formed, and then basically language is spoken in chunks, like these bigger parts, which makes our speech smoother, faster, and it improves connected speech. Nice. All right. Now, what is the benefit for you if you are in business? What is the benefit for you? Well, there are multiple benefits. There are quite a few benefits because, first of all, if you practice this way of speaking, your fluency, your flow will improve. That's good. That's great. People will understand you better. Um, you know, they will follow your conversations better. Uh, Misunderstandings may be avoided better, can be avoided better. You will sound more professional, so your image will improve because people will feel and sense that wow, your speaking is more fluent, um, or is fluent, and that um, leaves a good impression. It will also make you feel more relaxed because if you feel that your speech flows after practicing, of course, then in meetings or presentations, you will feel you're more in control, and this is going to contribute to building and gaining more confidence. Your communication will be more effective, and well, you can network and build relationships, and first of all, most of all, build trust, which is really important. So there are a lot of benefits um, for business people and for businesses to improve in improving their speaking fluency. So I really recommend that you work on this. Okay, and what I just explained is a tiny bit, but a very important piece in spoken language that can bring you closer to this goal. Right. Let's move on now to the second part. Like when I planned for this live, I wanted to explain word linking in the first place, but I also want to point out a few things about um, understanding native speakers because this is the second most important thing that my clients and students usually ask me about. Like, how can I understand native speakers better? They're so difficult to understand sometimes, especially, in movies and TV shows, but even in live conversations. And, um, so what I just explained, word linking, if you start to observe and listen this way, you're going to start and open your ears to this kind of, um, to this phenomenon in spoken English. You're going to listen in a different way. It's going to open up a different way of listening for you. And these are the first steps into improving your understanding of native speakers. Because probably if you've had difficulties so far, it's partly because you've been listening in a different way. Maybe you were trying to catch every word. Maybe you were trying to follow the meaning to the letter, and so it's easy to get lost when you're trying to control the word instead of going for bigger parts and trying to understand the bigger concepts or the bigger chunks of language. So if you learn this way, it will help you to focus on context more. You will not be so hung up on individual words. You will be able to follow the context more. You will be able to um, pay attention more to the intonation, the tone, and keywords. But first of all, what you need is exposure. That means if you want to understand native speakers, you need to listen to them a lot. If you have the chance to speak to native speakers, that's great. If you don't, you still have lots of opportunities thanks to the internet and the street uh, platforms and all that. You can just watch movies, your favorite TV series and podcasts in English. But the important thing is to start to listen in a different way. It's very easy to get frustrated if you try and watch a movie in English, for example, and it just doesn't work because it's just really hard, you know. But that's partly because you're not listening the right way. First of all, if you want to practice English with movies, you want to improve your understanding of the way native speakers speak. You need to listen to them, but you need to take it, step by step because it can be overwhelming. So when you watch a movie, you should remember that you are a learner. You can't watch a movie at the beginning the same way as you watch one in your native language, which is a lot of fun. It's just it's a very um, it's a fun activity. In English, it can be fun, but it's harder because you are there to learn. It's a different approach. You need to remember that if you want to be successful in working your way through movies without getting frustrated. So, so I recommend that. But in summary, for this part, improving your speaking is what affects the way you listen. So improving your speaking will make it easier with practice to understand native speakers because you will be listening to real things. You will be practicing things the way they sound, and so you will be expecting those things. If you're practicing in a different way that native speakers speak, then what happens is that you will be expecting other things, and you just won't hear them. That's why you don't understand them. If you know how they speak, if you observe them and you practice that way, you will be expecting those things from them. And you will discover those things in the movies, in conversations, in the meetings, and wherever you speak to native speakers or you listen to native speakers. Right. So I encourage that you engage in conversations as much as you can. If you have the opportunity at the company with your colleagues, if you have colleagues who are, English speakers or speak good English, maybe they're not native speakers, but if they're advanced speakers, they probably use connected speech and fluent speaking. So that's also a great source to listen to. And of course, you've got the whole internet to browse and find your favorite topics, favorite movies or videos, tutorials, whatever you want, uh, and use the tech. Get creative with the tech. That means if they speak too fast, slow the speed down. You can do it with a few clicks, on YouTube, for example, or on these video platforms. So that's great. Just slow it down a little bit. It gives you more time to observe. And, as you pick up some practice, you can set it back to normal speed. But until then, just feel free to try different settings out. Um, and of course, learning vocabulary is important as well because it's not only about understanding the words. It's also it's not only about understanding the sounds. It's also about understanding the meaning, of course, is important. But many times, students tell me, I just watch my favorite series or just watch a few minutes. I don't understand more than 50%. I switch on the subtitles and I understand almost everything. Like I say, this is not difficult. That's the thing. When you see it written down, it's not difficult. It's not the vocabulary that's challenging many times. Um, but it's more the pronunciation and the way they speak. So that's the area that you need to work on. But of course, vocabulary is always important to work on as well and to expand your vocabulary. And celebrate. When something works out, just be happy about it. You don't have to only celebrate when you reach a great goal. No, small achievements should be celebrated. One day you discover that, "Yeah, I understood a little bit more." That's great. That's because you have been working. You've put in the work. And so, when you know what to do and how to do it, the results should come.